La Flor de los Tabacos, Padilla, Cazadores. Hey, everybody, located in this Cigar vlog. So, yeah, I have no idea if I said that even remotely correctly, because that's a fuck ton of Spanish. Okay. So, anyway, Padilla, one of the more high-end brands. I don't usually smoke these because these are expensive. Like, stupidly expensive. I'm going to get this as part of a 5-pack deal, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this up and torch the shit out of it. As you can see, it has a nice big double cap on it. Everything looks nice and smooth, no huge bumps, no veins. Provided, of course, my camera will actually focus on it. As you can see, construction looks top-notch. And yes, I am lining with the Zippo because I hate butane lighters. They will work and work and work until they don't. At which point, for whatever reason, they just crap out. And they just sitting there clicking that button incessantly to the point where everybody around you just wants you to shut the hell up. Anyway, and this is what I don't like about Zippos. Yes, they can still blow out. Get there. Hang on. A little better. I would try to fix that, except the longer I keep a Zippo on, the hotter it gets, and the more it tries to burn the shit out of my hand. So, screwed up light aside. Initial taste right off the bat. Sweet, a little spicy. Clean tobacco. A couple other things going on. There's a couple different things going on in the flavor of this just right off the bat. Then I'm going to smoke this down to first inch. See if I can unfoobar my light, which is going to be questionable because there's just enough breeze to screw up a natural flame. Anyway, I'm going to smoke this down to first inch and see if anything gets a little more defined or otherwise stands out. Okay, so coming to about an inch in. I notice there's like zero spiciness and anything outside of, like, you know, your typical like spiced apple spice, baking spice kind of thing. A little bit of sweet, clean tobacco. I'm sure somebody's not walking down the tunnel. And a couple other flavors. There's like a light breadiness to it, especially in the retrohale. And yes, there's a lot going on in this. So that's going to make this one definitely interesting to smoke because you're going to be spending most of your time trying to pick out what exactly am I tasting out of this, because there's several things going on at the same time. I said this is kind of a little bit on the bigger ring gauge size, so smoking this one could be a little bit of a trick because it's kind of big. A little bit of a gordo. Anyway, so far, flavors have been pretty good. And I'm hoping that the weather is going to cooperate because that looks like somebody opened an Oblivion gate. In case you haven't played the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, what the fuck are you doing watching this video? Go play that game. Seriously, it's a good one. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to smoke this down to the halfway point. I already went ahead and yanked the band because it was nice and loose and it was kind of irritating, so I just went ahead and just got rid of that. And yeah, I'm going to smoke this down to the halfway point, hopefully not have too many issues from the oddball cracks, which is why you don't want to juggle a cigar before you start smoking it. Well, anyway, so let's get to the halfway point. Alright, just a quick update here. Ash just kind of fell off naturally here, so I don't know if that's just my screwed up light or exactly what's going on, but yeah, it's not quite the halfway point. I already know about the construction. Everything here seems to be constructed very well. So for all I know, that's just me herping a derp when it comes to a light. Flavor-wise, this is definitely striking me as a bit more of one of those kind of symphony cigars instead of a rock song, you know. I've made that illusion before. You know, you got the symphony where everything blends in real nice, and you have the rock song where everything blends in, and then there's that one solo that stands out and grabs your attention. And this is kind of a good symphony where you're trying to pick out who actually has the talent in, you know, the entire orchestra. I think I may have to touch up my light here a little bit because it's getting a little hard to actually get some smoke out of this. But I'm going to smoke this down to the proper halfway point and give a proper update from there. Okay, so this seems to be the more proper halfway point here. So far, like I said before, this is kind of striking me as one of those kind of symphony cigars. You know, everything's kind of there, but everything stands out enough to the point where you can actually pick out the individual parts and components of the actual flavor profile, which means pretty much everybody's going to get something slightly different out of this. Like for instance, me, I get sweetness, baking spice, a little breadiness, good tobacco flavor, and just overall a good cigar. Just kick back and chill on a hot afternoon with good whiskey, coffee, whatever else you want to drink. Beyond that though, nothing's really standing out, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's some people's preference. So I can't really fault them for that. Overall though, burn is going relatively decently. The thing is, make sure you light properly. And do not do what I did. Otherwise, I'm really not having too much else to say at this point. Other than I'm going to smoke it down to the nub here and see if anything wakes up, changes, or just matures. This definitely seems like one of those cigars that kind of doesn't necessarily mature as you go along. You know, like some cigars, when I say they mature, you know, they'll start off being kind of meh, and then as you smoke them through, that flavor will build and build, and eventually you'll figure out why you like it, because it just kind of boom is there. This one just kind of starts that way and just kind of keeps going. There's something to be said for consistency, but at the same time it can be a little boring if you're not careful. That said, picking out the actual flavors in this is what makes this one particularly interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke this down to the nub and see if I can pick out a good couple of flavors or two. Good couple of flavors or two, but that blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'll see you in the next update. Okay, this looks like a pretty good point to wrap this up. So far, like I said before, flavors have been pretty consistent all the way through. While this can make for a particularly boring cigar, in this case, it's one of those situations of it can be boring if you're not paying attention or if you're paying too much attention. But otherwise, this is just kind of one of those nice little companion cigars that is going to be interesting enough to hold your attention, but not interfere with the conversation. Flavors have been sweet, a little kind of baking spice. Definitely a good whiskey cigar. Beyond that, though, there's really not a whole lot else to say about it. It's just kind of one of those symphony-style flavor profiles that everything just kind of is there, and the fun is trying to figure out what it is that you're getting out of it, or just letting your mind wander, one of the two. Anyway, yeah, overall, just an overall good cigar. Nothing really stand out, but definitely not a waste of money by any stretch. That said, these can get a little pricey if you get a whole box, so be careful of that. Other than that, there's really not much else to say about it. Good cigar, definitely would recommend. If you can afford it, that is. Beyond that, though, if you like this review or any review, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and let me know if you've had a different experience. Better yet, let me know if there's anything you particularly want to see. I always appreciate comments that have lists of your favorite cigars, because that gives me something to actually look for. Because the actual paper catalog that you get from Cigars International is getting a little on the short list. Anyway, Be sure to check out my Twitch stream Sundays and Wednesday nights, midnight to 2 a.m. If you can't catch the live broadcast, it's usually for like about, I think, 2 weeks. Alright, that's pretty much all I got. I'll see you next time. Bye.